Everyone, Glenn Sanford here, and today I'm really excited to talk to a very interesting agent guest on the Expansion Podcast, a gentleman named Gary Wilson, and he's really set up a pretty unique business in real estate. Been with EXP, I think, since 2020. He's
hmm
Icon agent. Been in real estate 22 years, but um, maybe Gary, you can just kind of give a little bit about your background. I know we were talking a little bit about stuff. You're technically an Icon agent out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, but it doesn't even sound like you hang out there that much.
No, yeah, thank you for that's. I've been to Cheyenne before, but I've never actually lived there. So for those listening, this actually plays into a much bigger picture. And what I did is I set up an LLC in Wyoming, got my real estate eight brokers license there, so I could incorporate there in order to run a national team. I knew from traveling all over and investing all over that I could do this. I could have a national team because investors are investing 56% of the time out of state where they live. That means half the transactions are not even in your market. So I thought, well, I need to be in those markets, and that's why we built the team. Well, Wyoming lets us do that. I don't have to live there to set up an LLC there. I don't have to live there to have a license there. So I did everything correctly according to the state and paid for some good service providers. And now because of the platform that EXP gives me, I have been able to set up a team and we're in 38 states, almost 60 MSAs, and I've done it in literally in about 3 years. I just could never have done that anywhere else. And that's really one of the reasons why I'm here because it not only is possible, but Glenn, I mean, your operations guys in all the states, phenomenal. I mean, the level of support. I've never had anybody say, "Well, do it this way, do it that way, or do it our way, or don't do that anyway." They were saying, "Hey, let's see how we you can help you make that work." You know, I mean, it's an amazing platform, and it makes this possible. That's the key.
So I know a company you used to be with, basically created a term called expansion, and they were supporting what they called expansion teams. I heard like 2 or 3 weeks ago they literally shut down expansion, and you've been doing this at EXP now, pretty amazingly. Um, Maybe talk a little bit about what do you focus on? What are the type of clients you generate? What is how do you coach and train and support your agents in all these different markets? Maybe just a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, just to help people understand, I'll kind of give you the 30-second example explanations. Most of the other real estate brokerage companies, wonderful people, they all have something that they're good at, something they're known for, but they all follow the franchise model, which is an old model. It will always be here. We're always going to have Coldwell Banker and Century 21, all those guys. They're going to have their place in history. But the industry has been evolving for over a decade now. And we follow what's called the organization model. So the old franchise model, if you want to have an expansion team, you literally have to set up shop in an office somewhere, wherever you're going to operate, and they want to get paid, and then the region wants to get paid, and of course the company itself wants to get paid. Well, at the end of the day, and I did the math on this. My background is computer science, so I can't help myself. I calculated that the agent at the end of the transaction would get 22% on average, and that's a fact. That's not like hypothetical math. That's based on their model. And I said, there's no way this is going to work. That's going to create a job of varying with a lot of unhappy people. So I came here in at EXP, and all of a sudden we don't have all those barriers. It's like a giant playground. It's like a sandbox, and EXP provides us the best toys, the best tools, and great supervision to be able to build these dreams and these visions. So the way it plays out, Glenn, is it may sound strange to people who have a traditional franchise model based team or they're locally based, and that you have a team leader generating all the leads, you have an ISA setting up the appointments, you've got a listing specialist and two or three buyer's agents. I'm not trying to knock that model. That works well for a long time and it has, but it will not work well if you're trying to set up shop in 38 states, or in our case, we want to be in 50 states. So what I did was I attracted people that I had taught in the past. I taught for 8 years traveling all over the US and Canada. And I knew the people that had the entrepreneurial gene. They had that business mindset. They had the growth mindset. And I thought, all I need is 10 of those people, right? You don't even need 10 people. So I attracted those folks first. I knew that they could help me coach. I love coaching. I love teaching, and I still do it today. I still am involved with the transactions. I know it sounds like, well, how can you do that with 100 something people on a production team in 38 states? It's because I'm not in production myself, for one thing. I totally devote my time to my students. I call them students on the team. So we have 5 levels of engagement, Glenn. Level one is we meet one on one. I literally coach everybody one on one. I don't limit the calls. I don't care if they're with me for 10 years. I give them the same the time that they get if they're brand new. Um, but more importantly, that's just one way to engage. We also have morning scrums. We get everybody up, we get going, we pump everybody up, we solve problems, we answer questions. Then they're off and running for the day. We have a weekly class I call Monday Night Live every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's all about education. We're not. There's nothing to buy or sell or recruit or anything like that. We're just simply teaching, and we open that up to the whole world, by the way, because we had agents bringing in other agents from other brokers. And I said, let's just make it free and open it up, and that's what we did. That's the third way. The fourth way is we have mastermind groups. Mastermind focuses on a specific subject like doing subject to purchases or some assumptions. How can you assume mortgages from USDA, FHA, and VA? We have masterminds that focus on specific strategies, and we meet biweekly. All of those are biweekly meetings, and then once a month, the entire team gets together for a giant strategic session. So we call it strategic planning. Obviously, we're in multiple markets. So what I do is I take all the input I get from everybody on all the markets. I have macro data and macro data and micro data. Micro being the market specific, macro being everywhere. So we go over that, and I tell people this is what we're doing strategically to prepare for the market the way we believe it's going to unfold based on the information we have. And people love it, especially the entrepreneurial business builder people. Now they're doing it. And there's other people in EXP following the same model because I mean, every week somebody's asking me to be on their lunch and learn or something like that. And the cool thing is here at EXP, I'm glad to do it. The rising tide lifts all ships. I've got Karina. What's her second? Gangland, I think. She's coming on tonight on my Monday Night Live to talk about AI. We already use AI, but she's the master. She doesn't get anything out of it materially, but we call ourselves blood brothers and blood sisters because we hit it off right away. And it's just the most amazing thing. So we have that way to engage, but really it's the 5 different levels of engagement. And that's how we keep everybody glued together. The 5 levels of engagement. That's critical.
Awesome. No, well, so you're really leading with just being super supportive of agents in your group. Now it the thing I've noted was you're focused a lot on the investor community. Is that correct?
Yeah, we certainly do serve traditional clients, helping them buy and sell their own homes. But Glenn, what I did is I built an entire platform just for investors. It's in addition to what we already get from EXP, which is phenomenal in itself. So the platform that we develop off to the side, it does focus on investors and investing. So I do teach my agents how to invest in real estate. I want them to experience that part of the American dream. I want them to have additional streams of income. But more importantly, I want them to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk with their investor clients. And the beautiful thing is investors don't just buy and sell one property every 10 years. I mean, our average transaction flow per client on the investor side is 4 transactions a year. That's pretty darn good when you consider half our time, Glenn, is spent attracting the business. We have to earn the business before we can actually produce. So we're earning the business once, and yet we're getting paid 4 times a year by that one client. So that's the main reason why. The bigger reason, again, is like I mentioned earlier. I knew back about 20 years ago that more transactions were being done across state lines for investors, and I was one of them, including me. I've been investing since January 1986, and now I can invest with confidence anywhere in the country practically because I have team members there that I've taught. That's one reason. The other reason is the data is so much more available today. We had data 20 years ago, but now it's literally at our fingertips. We can pay for data aggregators to grab all the data for properties and people anywhere in the country. So that it's just the information, the technology, the network of having a team in 38 states makes us a very compelling value proposition for our investors from U.S., Canada. We have investors in 13 different countries right now investing with us, mostly U.S. based. But it's because of those three things, Glenn: the network we developed, the information and the technology that EXP gives us. I mean, KvCore is an amazing CRM. That's been a huge game changer for us, by the way. KvCore. Thank you for making sure we have that tool.
Oh no, my pleasure. No, I mean I came from an internet lead gen background, so there were certain things that I knew were important, and KV Core really kind of checked the box on a ton of that. Some people have other CRMs and website lead gen platforms that they like better, but at the end of the day, it's similar to what we say all the time, which is the best platform is the one you use. And KV Core, I'm probably at least 60-70% of icons, KV Core is their CRM of choice. So it's which is pretty cool to hear as well. So now, when you think about lead gen for all of these, for agents that are on your team, um, uh, for you, are you handling the lead gen side, or are you? Is it the coaching training and then they're doing the lead gen? Is it some combination of the above?
Yeah, it really is a combination, but I will tell people with the brand new agents, we're literally working with them hand in hand. I mean, it's guided learning. They're learning and implementing at the same time in incremental steps. But fundamentally, what I do, Glenn, is I do a podcast every week. I have blogs. We're on all the social media channels. We have a massive YouTube channel, two primary websites. So we generate a lot of traction, a lot of activity from the consumers. So we're getting phone calls and emails every day. We do hand those out. So here's my philosophy. Primarily, I want to teach people how to fish. Okay. At the end of the day, if I'm a great servant leader, I'm going to teach my people how to be independent producers, how to be financially independent, financially free, whether they're with me or not. That's my mission in life is to improve the life of every person I meet. At EXP, we're given the platform to be able to do that. It's based on sharing. We all grow and prosper when we share. So I do teach them how to market. We have a marketing, what's called a marketing sequence document, and marketing is really a matter of having a marketing plan that encompasses one to maybe three marketing campaigns that work in conjunction with each other. We might do a letter campaign combined with a social media campaign, followed up with a phone calling campaign. It's I teach everybody how to do this. Have a marketing sequence. Well, marketing has four different levels. Level one is just the basic stuff. Build your database, get a monthly market update turn on. By the way, everybody listening, if you're even if you're a veteran, I was going to say new people listen, but everybody listen here. The best advice I could ever give you in production is make sure every record, every contact you have is on KvCore. No exceptions. I don't care if it's your grandmother, your daughter, everybody needs to be on your database. And everybody should, a minimum, should have a monthly market update turned on. And the third thing is you should be calling them on a regular basis. If you did those three things, I'm willing to bet you're going to convert at about 10% of your existing records. That's minimum. That's floor. So back to what I was saying, Glenn, is we teach them this to get them to their next level, which is level two marketing, which involves more social media, YouTube, link, and all that. And we show them how to sync them up as far as keywords and key phrases, what we call SEO. Level three and level four is much more advanced, doing live events, getting on local television and radio. I can show them how to do that too. That's like level four. So that's the way we do it. Now, behind all that going on, I'm a realist too. I know volume is down. Volume's down for everybody all over the country. If you look statistically, it's. I don't want to give you the numbers because I don't want to scare anybody, but the point is, it doesn't mean you panic. It means you prepare. You're going to produce if you simply keep a level head and prepare and work with people that like we have at EXP who are willing to help you. So what I'm getting at, Glenn, is sometimes people just need a fish. So we do have that ability, and I don't charge anything for that. I don't take a personal referral fee on the ones I hand out personally. I just sometimes people need a fish, and that's why we do that. So we can handle both ends of that spectrum. but I do lead with education. Education plus information plus action is what gives us results. So, in any case, that's my philosophy on the fish. So,
Oh no, great stuff. And so when you think about like you've got a fairly large team. What's your a couple questions? One is what is your economic model with your team? Like, is it a or what? How does your team work versus other team styles? Obviously, I think you were at KW and they have the MREA model. This sounds like something entirely different in a lot of respects.
it is. We literally took the traditional team model and turned it on its ear. And again, I want to be respectful. I'm not knocking the old team model, guys. If you have a team in your locality, absolutely follow that model. Okay. But my philosophy is I want to create leaders. I want to create independent, financially free, financially independent producers out there that can produce in any market at any time, whether they're with me or not. That's just my philosophy. I lead with education. We're an education-based team. The way it works structurally is we only ask for the minimum commission that's required by EXP, which is 25%, and we do that on a temporary basis. Now everybody's different. Some people come in, Glenn, and they knock it out of the park in the first 3 months. Other people it takes 3 years. Sometimes people have to care for children or their parents, so we're sensitive to that. We don't make everybody. We don't try to fit the round peg in a square hole. We do what's called a vision exercise, and it helps me understand where someone is in their life right now, and then therefore what do they have available resource wise to contribute to this business that they're developing. And if it takes 3 years, it takes 3 years. But then what we do, Glenn, is once they've hit that team threshold, we only do it once. It doesn't reset like a cap does. They go from what's called Group A to Group B. Now, Group B, they're technically not on the team anymore. We have to. It's the protocol. We have to follow the rules, and that's what we do. We say now you're going to be in Group B, but you're going to have to pay nearly as much. It's 5%. But at the same time, you're back on full cap. You're going to the XP. You're a solo agent. But we work together as an organization, and the organization is growing dramatically. And I really wanted that, Glenn, for myself and my team members because I didn't want people. I wanted to train people, but I didn't want them leaving. And I'm thinking, well, how do I solve that? And the way I solved it was talking to people like Dave Kennard and Amy Weaver, and realize we can use the group philosophy, Group A and Group B. Group B is technically the team. Group B is you graduated to be an independent person, but we still work together. I still coach them. I do it essentially for free because we don't 5% just pays the light bill. But that's how we accomplished it. You just have to study the rules and follow the rules and do it the right way. But I wanted long-term relationships. I want to invest in Boise, Idaho, without having to be there, but I can because I've got an agent there that I train and I know the systems they have. It just makes it so much easier to do those things and work with other clients who do the same thing. But back to the structure, that it's an education-based team, and the only way to accomplish that is to let them graduate, let them fly out of the nest. It doesn't mean they're not in your family anymore. But when they've hit that first threshold, you've got to be the leader and push them out. You know, Otherwise they're never going to learn to fly on their own. And we're all entrepreneurs. We're 1099 contractor people. We've got to really learn how to be independent if and when we need to. Still hang around. We still work together, do have fun things together, invest together. But I want them to be able to go on. Like right now, I'm training 6 people how to build teams across the country, and one of them's not even on my team. So it's just what we do. But now I know they're going to go out there and they're going to pay it forward, and they're going to look for the leadership underneath them and build that leadership. That is the best compliment I could ever receive is when someone flies away from the nest and then 6 months later does some kind of YouTube video or a podcast or whatever and says, you know what, I worked with Gary Wilson. He's the one that taught me how to do this. There's nothing feels better than that kind of a compliment, Glenn, when someone does that. Hey, thank you, Gary, for teaching me what you taught me. I just bought my first duplex, so now I've got revenue share, stock ownership, commission income, and rental income. That's my mojo. That's what I still get up every day, Glenn, just as excited as I was when I first started. And that fulfillment is what brings it to me.
Well, awesome. Um, well, last question, and then we got to wrap here today. But if there was one piece of advice you could give to EXP agents, what would it be?
Man, I wish I could come up with just one, but I would say for you listening here, especially if you're kind of new and you're not on a team, man, join groups, engage with each other, and engage with people. We have local events, get-togethers, happy hours, regional events. You can't don't stay in your cocoon. Some of us are independent because it's just our nature, but in business, just like in sports and entertainment, in the military, and anywhere in life, any walk of life, family, the more you engage with each other, the further you're going to go, the more you're going to learn things. You're going to develop some awesome relationships. So to me, it's all about engaging with people on multiple levels and in multiple ways. Just do that one thing. And if you want to take the easier route, just join somebody's team. There's hundreds of teams out there, and I know a lot of those guys. Join a team. It's the easy way. You want to do it the hard way, that's fine. But engage and network and socialize with people and learn from them and grow with them. That's the key.
Well, good stuff. Gary, thank you so much for this. This has been both inspiring and educational for me, just to hear how you're doing things. You've got a website. I think it's myinvestmentservices.com. Is that correct?
Well, really, there's we actually rebranded that, but there's two websites: realestateWithGaryWilson.com. That's the old My Investment Services. That's for the general public. For the agents, it's globalinvestoragent.com. In both cases, we give a lot away. We have classes. We give our books away. We just give and give and give, and as a result, it's everybody benefits. But yeah, I appreciate you doing that. Those are the two websites that work together. Yeah.
Good, good stuff. Well, thanks again, Gary. Thanks everyone
Yeah.
for listening. This has been a great podcast. And till next time, keep on keeping on out there, and look forward to this getting out there here. Probably about 3 4 weeks it'll be live. So, thanks again, Gary.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, everyone.